So please mute your audio, and within 2 minutes, I am going to start session. So no audio means you have to switch on your audio from your computer. Just give me 2 minutes, I'll start session. Yeah, yes, just wait. So I request you, please mute your audio while session is going, okay? And after completion of session, I will allow you to speak with me, and you can ask any doubts. Even you can use chat box, as well as you can feel free to talk to me at the end of the session. So first, let me complete today's demonstration. So I will give complete information related to our Python full stack development course. So after completion of demo, you can feel free to discuss with me if you have any doubts. And just give me 1 minute. So many students have not switched on their audio. I'm asking them to switch on. Pragya, Erin, switch off your audio. Yeah, mute your audio. Thanks. And if you have any question in the middle, you can feel free to chat. Okay, you can use chat box so that you can contact. And please wait for demo completion so that you can ask at the end of the session. You can ask me any doubts. I'll clarify your doubts regarding our Python full stack development. So let's begin today's session. So this is the first session of Python full stack development. So in this session, I'm going to give complete information regarding our Python full stack development course. Python full stack development course. So first, let me discuss what subjects I'm going to cover in this Python full stack development. Okay, so that you will get clarity. But after completion of information, you can decide that whether you want to join full stack or only Python. You can decide according to your requirement. So I'm not asking you to join complete Python full stack course, because some students are required only Python. Okay, so you can able to join for only Python. If you are the fresher, or if you have any gap from your academic year to till date, so I strongly recommend to uh, learn Python full stack development. So I will give you clarity now. Yes. So in Python full stack development, I'm going to teach these subjects. First main subject, and that is core subject, is Python only. So Python core and advanced. So actually there is no core and advanced. But according to market scenario, I'm telling you, core Python and advanced Python completely I'll cover. And after that, in Python full stack development, Django. And after that, Flask framework. And then REST API. This is Django REST framework also, we can call it as DRF. UI basics. That means UI basics means HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript plus jQuery and then Bootstrap. These are the subjects. And then compulsory MySQL basics and then SQLite 3 basics. So these are the subjects which I'm going to cover in our Python full stack development. So to become a Python full stack developer, you must and should have the knowledge on these subjects: Python, Django, Flask, REST API, UI basics, MySQL basics, SQLite basics. These subjects I'm going to teach in Python full stack development. Complete duration of this course, if you join for Python full stack development course, so it will take compulsory 4 months. Below 4 months, I can't finish. First only I'm telling, if you have any time constraint, sir, can't you able to finish within 2 months or 3 months like that? I can't. So you can drop immediately if you have any time constant for this batch. So because I have to cover a lot of subject and lot of information regarding these all subjects. 4 months compulsory. Even 4.5 months also I'll take some extent. Okay. Yes. And this is only duration for Python full stack development subjects which I cover in this 4 months. If you want to join only Python core and advanced, okay, so you can able to join only for core and advanced Python also as per your requirement. And this duration is minimum 45 days to 2 months. So up to 2 months, 45 days to up to 2 months, I'm going to finish Python core and advanced. After completion of Python core and advanced 45 days to 2 months only, then I'll start Django. After that Flask, after that REST API. UI basics, it will come by default in the middle of Django. And MySQL basics, SQLite basics also, it will come in the Django development only. But make sure that to learn Django, compulsory Python is required. Without Python, you can't go for Django. Without Python, you can't go for Flask. Without Python, Django, you can't go for REST API. So for all the rest of the subjects, which is required, Python. So you must and should focus on Python first. After learning Python, you can go through any one of all these things which is related to full stack development. So if you have any gap from your academics or else you are a fresher, so better to take Python full stack development course. So it will be easy to get opportunities. Or else you are already working employee, so you are doing some job. In your job profile, some requirement is there to write Python script and Python coding. Then I strongly recommend for them only Python, not full stack. Don't waste your time and money also. Okay. So it is very clear. So this is the clarity which I'm giving. And coming to this, every day session time is according to Indian time, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. or 10:15. Slowly we'll extend the session 10:15. 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes. I'll take the session 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is official time, and 15 minutes, 10 minutes daily. I'll extend that also according to our topic, which I discuss in our upcoming sessions. And every day session is going to be recorded. Okay, that recorded video after session completion, after 1 hour, you will receive into your Google Drive. That video you should be download every day. So my videos lectures are completely downloadable and lifetime accessible. So it is completely downloadable. And complete PDF material also I will send to you. So core Python PDF, advanced Python PDF, and REST API PDF, complete PDF I'm going to send. Okay. So once you start attending the sessions, no confuse will create, because everything is available in PDF and everything is clearly I'll explain in our sessions. So while practicing, you can watch my video and you can follow the PDF documentation, so it will be crystal clear. So let me open some PDFs which I prepared already. You can see core Python is there. This is advanced Python is Django PDF and REST API PDF. Everything is available here. These PDFs I'm going to send once we start the coding part of Python. So initially when I start core Python, then first only complete core Python PDF I will send to you. And when I start advanced Python, complete advanced Python PDF I'll send to you. And once I start Django PDF I'll send to you. Like that, according to which subjects I'll start, then that subject related PDF I'm going to send to you. Complete PDF is available. Okay, all subjects PDF is available here. So this is the time duration of this course, and recorded videos every day I'll send to your Google Drive. That recorded videos are downloadable and lifetime you can access, along with soft copy of material, interview questions, and everything clearly. So duration of this complete Python full stack development is 4 months. Only Python duration is what actually 2 months, 45 days to 2 months only. This is very clear. And sessions regularly will take, that is Monday to Saturday. So only Sunday is the holiday. So Monday to Saturday sessions will continue. So this is the clear information regarding our sessions. Now coming to the subjects. So in this full stack development, these many subjects which I cover, so each subject you must and should aware what is the purpose of the subject. So as I said that first completely, so please switch on your audio, those who are not getting voice. So you can check your surroundings, because rest of the students are getting my voice. Somebody is not switch on their mic. So that's the what they are facing some problem. Please, I request you switch on your mic. So next we'll start with each subject. What is the purpose of subject? Why we use these many subjects in the full stack development? I'll tell you. And before going to discuss each and every subjects in detail, what is the purpose of that subject? I would like to tell you why full stack development is required nowadays. So nowadays, full stack development role is huge demand in the IT market. So the reason is what actually, in the sense, in the previous 3-4 years back, there was no full stack, only specific development programmers are there, like Python developers, Django developer, Flask coding programmers, REST API developers, like that. So the job role was completely divided. But nowadays, the most of the companies are going to look forward to hire full stack developers only. The reason is what actually, so I'm going to teach you basics onwards completely, and intermediate level of program, advanced level of program, like this. So please let me complete the demonstration. Okay, after that I will end of the session. I will give you 10-15 minutes of time. You can ask me any doubt so that I can clarify. If you raise the questions in the middle in the chat box, then how I can do it? Can I answer your question or can I continue my lecture? So that is the problem. So hope you understand that. So wait for few minutes. Okay. So after completion of demo, I will answer your all questions. No doubt at all. Okay. So what topics are included core and advanced Python means we will send a syllabus copy. All in that it will be there. So core Python means so many concepts are there: operators, functions, modules. Okay. So there are so many things are there. I'll include that. No issues at all. And why Python full stack development role in the market? Huge demand in the sense. So, and even Python full stack developers will have the pay scale is more compared to only Python developer, obviously, because uh, once you uh, get a job as Python full stack development, your contribution will be in the all the aspects, in the programming, in the development, in the framework designing, and API cases, all the cases you have to involve that. So obviously your involvement is in every aspect of project development. So you should get a proper or basic knowledge of all these subjects clearly. But if you look forward only Python, so you will be able to involve into Python coding part only here. So you not related to Django, Flask, and REST API like this. But nowadays, the so many companies are looking Python full stack developer, not only Python, I'm speaking Java full stack development, .NET full stack development, like this full stack developer role is important here because one person can handle all the situations clearly in the real time. Okay. So that's what their huge demands are there. So yes, Python data science, only Python is enough. Data science purpose, only Python is enough. No need to learn complete full stack development. But anyway, those who are looking forward for only Python or full stack development, you can continue regularly because first 45 days to 2 months
45 days to
complete
2 months.
Python only I'm going to discuss. First 45 days to 2 months. So those who wants to go for Python, you can continue with 45 days to 2 months. After that, you can drop. And those who are looking forward full stack development, they'll continue for 4.5 months like this. Okay. So I can't say that which is full stack, Java is better or Python is better, but any full stack is better. Only the thing is you have to decide you are interested on Java or platform like that. Okay, you can decide that. But both are good programming languages in IT industry. But Java, it takes minimum 6 to 9 months to learn. And Python is easier. Yes, obviously, Python is easier than any other programming languages which is available in market, including C, C++. Compared to C, C++, Python is absolutely easy. I strongly recommend you can choose your first programming language in your career as Python, not even C, C++ also. Only Python duration, as I said, that 45 days to 2 months. Please wait for the end of the session. Okay, I'm requesting again, once again, if you keep on ask the questions in the middle of the session, I can't continue. So wait for a few minutes. I will answer your all questions. Okay, at the end of the session, 15 minutes, I'll allot time. Even you can speak with me also. Open your mic and you can talk to me also. I'll allow you that. Please wait for some time. Okay. So let me complete the demonstration. I will intimate you. Once I finish that, then your turn will come and you can ask any doubts. I'll answer you. So first we have to discuss about Python. Without Python, we can't go for any one of these. So Python is mandatory language. So what is Python here? So first programming language we have to learn. Python is a programming language. Python is a programming language. What is the use of programming language? Which is used to write coding part or logic part for the application development. This is the purpose of programming language actually. Okay. So this is the purpose of Python programming language. So what is Python? It's a programming language which is used to write coding part for the application development. So generally, you can take any language like C, C++, Java, C Sharp, any language that are all programming language only. Programming languages generally can be used to write coding part, logic part we can write. So that is we are using in Python programming language. So uh, Python everywhere will be involved in the full stack development. If you want to go for Django, in Django also we are going to write Python script. In Flask also we are going to write Python script. In REST API also we are going to write Python script. Okay, complete Python script is involved in this frameworks. This is a programming language. Okay, but next subject is what? Django. So Django is not a programming language. For your kind information, Django is a web development framework. Django is what actually? Web development framework. It's a framework. So framework means some set of rules already pre-designed. That rules you have to follow. By following that rules, you have to design web application development. So we can design websites, we can develop web applications, online applications using Django framework. So Django is not a programming language. Django is a web development framework. So used to which is used to develop develop web applications, which is used to develop web applications or business applications, we can call it as. And why Python is required for Django? Because Django framework is completely written in Python language only. How Django framework is built completely using Python script only. And this is only for web development application. Web application development is possible with Django. And there is one more framework is there, Flask. So Flask is a lightweight, okay, Flask is a lightweight framework, lightweight framework. It is also a web development framework. Flask is a lightweight framework. What framework it is? It is also web development framework. Web development framework. What is the difference between Flask web development framework and Django web development framework? So Flask is the lightweight and web development framework. Even we can call it as it is a micro web framework. We can say that micro framework we can call it as. Generally in real time using Flask framework, microservice applications we can build, and even using Flask we can able to develop a single page applications mostly. Okay, it is very lightweight web application development, and easily we can build the websites using Flask, but not much more medium range applications and huge applications. It is not possible to develop using Flask only. Flask is just a lightweight framework, web application development framework. Django is better compared to Flask. Why? Because Django through we can build large scale web applications and small scale web applications. Everything is possible with Django. Flask is a micro web framework. This Flask framework also completely written in Python language only. Okay, it's also completely written in Python language only. And Flask is don't have much more built-in libraries. Okay, so we can easily build the applications, a small scale application, mostly single page application purpose Flask framework we use. And medium range of web applications and large scale applications we can build using Django. But to go for Django or to go for Flask framework, no matter whether you are going Django or Flask, compulsory Python is required. So even when we go for web application development using this framework, internally, the logic part completely we should write using language called Python. Flask is a small and lightweight Python web framework. So it is a micro framework, we can say. In real time microservices programming, mostly programmers will write using Flask framework only. And Django also web development framework, which is used to build medium and large scale of web application development is possible with Django. And Python is mandatory for both of these only. Then what is REST API? Okay, so what is REST API in the sense? REST API is nothing but web API. So terminology is different according to Python full stack and Java full stack, .NET full stack. Generally, API stands for Application Programming Interface. REST stands for Representational State Transfer. We'll talk about this REST API in detail in our upcoming sessions, no matter it is. And this also we can call it as DRF. DRF in the sense Django REST Framework. So to learn this DRF or REST API, compulsory Django is the prerequisite. And even in REST API also, we are going to write coding part completely using Python only. So Python is mandatory. You should not ignore. You can ignore any one of this, but you cannot ignore this. Because only Python you can focus, it's okay, no problem. If you want to become a only Python, exclusive Python developer, learn Python. That's it. Or you want to become a complete Python full stack developer, go for all these subjects compulsory. So some orderly you have to learn. Okay, there is a procedure is there to learn to become a full stack developer, not only here, anywhere. So the proper order is required. First, we have to focus on programming language. After that, you have to go for frameworks only. Because most of the frameworks written in programming language only. Without knowledge of programming language, we can't go for learning frameworks. That's common. So what about REST API in the sense in Python full stack in Django point of view, we can call it as REST API or DRF. This API everywhere it is there. not only in Python full stack. For example, Java point of view, they will call it as RESTful services. .NET point of view, they will call it as Web API. So Web API, the terminal is different, but concepts is same. So API is just for communication. So using API, we can send that HTTP request to get to send the request and get the response from the server. So transfer the data using mostly in the API JSON format only, JavaScript object notation, or else you can transfer the data in XML formats also like this. So generally in real time, in our daily life also, when we deal with many websites, so our request will send to other application internally. That application can communicate with the different banking applications like that. So multiple applications can interact or can communicate. That is possible with API only. It's kind of web services, I can say that. In olden days, we use web services. Web services became a REST API clearly. So it is strong architectural pattern. This is REST pattern is the strong architectural pattern. Representational state transfer, we can call it as. So after completion of Django, we are going to learn REST API also. Without REST API, there is no meaning to learn Django. This is powerful web service mechanism we are going to write with Django script only. Now coming to this UI. UI means user interface. So in our daily life, every time whenever we open any website, then we are focusing, we are looking only UI only. UI means user interface, where user can interact. Any design you are looking in any website, that is called UI only. So that UI is compulsory required. So UI technologies we can call it as. These UI technologies are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. Why these UI technologies are required? Especially these UI technologies are required at the time of Django. So once I complete Python subject teaching after 45 days to 2 months in between, whenever I start Django, first 3-4 days I will conduct the sessions related to Django setup, installation, all these things. After that, we will go for 10 to 15 sessions. We will conduct completely on UI basics only. Because in Django, to learn Django, you should have the at least basic knowledge on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. So HTML is common. It is going to describe the web page structure. Actual content is going to display to the end user in the form of HTML only. No matter server side, whatever you are doing transaction, when it comes to response in the format of client side, that should be in the format of HTML only, obviously. But why CSS means you can style your pages. If you want to make some uh, makeup for your web pages, you can style it. Then you can do with CSS, cascading styles it. And JavaScript is the famous for functionality. So that means validations. So that validation purpose, functionality purpose, we can use JavaScript clearly. And jQuery, Bootstrap or advanced UI technologies, we can say. These two advanced UI technologies are implemented with the help of these three technologies only. With HTML, CSS, JavaScript only, they created jQuery and Bootstrap. These are advanced UI technologies. But in our Django web application development, we will focus more on Bootstrap only. Not even jQuery, not even JS, not even CSS, HTML. You may get doubt. So many students are having some doubt. Sir, it is Python full stack development. So why don't you cover complete UI technologies like this? See, the thing is why I'm not going to cover complete UI things. It's not required for our Django implementation complete UI. Basics are enough. Even though if I tell you basics in the 10 to 15 days, whatever the concepts which I cover related to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, even this concept will not, I am not going to use in our Django development. The reason is what you know, Django is completely built on MVT architecture. In MVT architecture, model, view, template. If you want to do more customization, your web applications, compulsory this UI technologies, strong knowledge is required, no matter it is. So here Django is completely depend on MVT pattern, model, view, template. Model represent here database. Okay, model represent database. View represent here presentation. Presentation means what you are going to see at the end of the response in the template, means user interface, presentation layer. And template model view, sorry, model represent database, view represent this is Python logic. It's my mistake. And template represent what actually presentation layer, where we use this UI things. UI things completely use in template only. Template means HTML template. Presentation layer it is. This is logic layer, business access layer. This is data access layer. So in Django, in MBT pattern, where we use HTML, all these things means in the template rendering only. Only what details you are going to display at the end of the execution to the end user, that we can create templates by using this UI only. But why I'm not going to discuss complete UI technologies in detail means in Django, we are not going to prepare any HTML forms because in Django, we are going to write Python code. Using Python code, we can prepare HTML tags. Using Python code, we can prepare HTML forms. Okay. And using Python code, we can prepare logic. Using Python code, even we can prepare models, databases, everything we can do with Python only. But the contribution of this UI is very less when it comes to Django. So how much content I'm going to use in Django, that concepts I'm going to completely cover in the context of these UI technologies clearly. That's what I mentioned here clearly, UI basics. So minimum 1 or 2 weeks I'm going to spend to discuss all these things. Okay, how to handle with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, how to download jQuery libraries and Bootstrap libraries, how to include in your Django project development, we'll discuss. And coming to this MySQL basics. So compulsory, if you are going to develop some web application development, database is mandatory. In everywhere, database will play the role, important role, because in the front end, that means user interface, whatever you enter the details, finally that details need to be stored into permanent storage area. That permanent storage area is nothing but what? Database. For database designing purpose, compulsory SQL is required, structured query language. So I'm going to use MySQL things in Django development. Even Flask development is not required because so Flask development separate inbuilt databases associated with Flask. Okay. So SQL Lite 3 basics also I'm going to cover because when we develop Django applications, there is a built-in database is called SQLite 3. SQLite 3 is a built-in database clearly here. This is built-in database. So SQLite 3 is a file-based database. It is completely written in C language only. That means C library only. Okay. Yes, SQLite 3 completely designed and implemented with the C programming language. It's not a complete database, but it look like database. We need not to write much more commands in SQLite 3. So maximum stuff we can able to manage in the Django web application development, built-in database, that is SQLite 3, but even we can communicate with MySQL database also. So SQLite 3 MySQL is for database related things where we can store our data in the storage area. And UI technologies completely what? Presentation. What we are going to see in the web development front page, front end application. And this, if you want to develop all these things, compulsory what is mandatory language, programming language, main logic code is that is called Python only. So Django, Flask, REST API, these are the frameworks. These frameworks for web development using Python coding. And presentation layer designing purpose, okay, front end designing purpose, UI technologies. Backend applications completely related to backend means MySQL and SQLite 3 we are going to learn. So these are the subjects for what purpose which I discussed. Okay. So now first we have to focus on Python. So ultimately Python is the mandatory programming language. So we should focus on Python only completely. As I said that in this all 7 subjects, which is the programming language means only Python is the programming language. Remaining not at all programming languages. These 3 are frameworks. These are all technologies. What technologies? Front end technologies or UI technologies. These are all database tools. Database tools, front end technologies, frameworks, and programming language. So these all need to be required to become a Python full stack developer. So in the 4 months duration, I'm going to cover all these things step by step. So first, our focus is completely on Python only. So without this, we can't move forward it with any other subjects only. Okay. So first we'll focus it on Python now. So as I said that Python is completely programming language, which is used to write coding part for the application development. And why Python became a popular language in recent times, means few years back onwards. So only one reason, Python is having lot of libraries. Okay, once we download Python software and install into our machine, you will get plenty of libraries, built-in libraries. That libraries are nothing but ready-made resources, and they have implemented lot of rich libraries for not only one application aspect, many application aspect. You know, nowadays Python can be anywhere. Python is anywhere. Anywhere in the sense data science programming, we will write Python through only. Data analysis, artificial intelligence, statistical analysis, even data visualization, okay, and network programming, VLSI, MATLAB, Matplotlib, embedded, and even software development like web application development and testing development, testing, automation testing purpose, Python script is required. Okay, so anywhere Python is required. So why? The reason is what you know, only simple reason. Python is having rich libraries. So libraries means already they have implemented lot of libraries related to different applications. Once only you have to download that libraries or install that libraries, you have to finish your work. It will be easy. So simple reason, if you have already ready-made resources, then your application development is very simple. If they don't have any ready-made resources, what we need to do as a programmer, you need to develop from scratch and you have to use it. So development time it will take, and usage also time, it will take time, obviously. But once we go for Python, we will not develop anything from scratch. Already available resources are there. That resources you have to know how to use it. So that's what you are learning Python. So all ready-made resources for different application aspect that are readily available. Only the thing is you have to consume and use it. That's it. So that's what Python became a popular language nowadays. Anywhere Python is. So in previous years, like 3-4 years back, all test engineers recommend to have the knowledge on Java or C#.NET for writing test cases. Nowadays, they are all looking forward for Python script only. And even network programming also. Most of the network engineers were written their network programming language using C++ in previous days. But now they are looking forward with Python script for managing their network programming, everywhere. So all things are completely migrated into Python. So once you learn Python, once you keep Python as a programming language in your resume, so obviously you will get a plenty of opportunities as a Python developer. That's for sure, no doubt at all. Okay. So what type of programming language it is? Okay. And most important thing is Python is very simple and straightforward. Everybody can able to understand. Just because of it is easy, it's not became a popular language. The main reason to become a popular language, this is what it's having huge standard libraries. That is the main reason. And moreover, Python syntaxes are very straightforward and simple. And one more important thing I want to tell you, don't look about your background from where you are coming. So if you are coming from degree or PCAM or PPharmacy or something else, BTech, non-IT, IT, no matter for it. So only if we have a skill set related to Python script, that's enough. So IT people are looking forward, those who are having skill set related to Python or Python full stack, that is required for them. And they are not looking your background or whatever your qualification, that is not a matter here. So happily you can able to learn. And one more thing also I want to clarify. Many of the students will ask me, like, to learn Python, is there any prerequisite like C, C++? No, not at all. Undoubtedly no. So directly you can start with your career and choose your first programming language in your career like Python. Obviously, you'll feel comfortable. No worries at all because it's very simple and straightforward. Because in our training career, we were teach a lot of languages like C Sharp, .NET, Java, and C, C++, where I feel here comfort because it's a very simple and straightforward language it is. Okay, for me, actually, according to me. But I am saying that whatever I face that experience from these languages, I am saying that because of that experience only I'm telling you. So it's a very simple and straightforward. So you can understand easily, and writing code is very simple compared to other languages. We can reduce maximum length of code in Python script. So just simple example I will tell you. If you want to print something hello message in a Java or C language like this, so how many number of lines of code you need to write? So compulsory in Java means compulsory packages you have to import, and after that you have to mention the class, public class name you have to write it, open bracket, close bracket, and public static void main is required, main method. Okay, and inside this main method, command line arguments are required here. Just this is Java related. Don't try to understand this, not required for you. Just I'm saying that length of the program, how much it is. System.out.println, SOP, and hello message I'm printing here. This is the program we have to write in Java to print only hello message in your computer screen. And even C language or C sharp.NET also, maximum same length of code only you have to write it. But in Python, there is no class, no main, nothing. Just you can use print function. Even print function also sometimes not required. It depends on editor tool which you are using. If you are going to interactive mode, even print function also not required. So just print hello. That's enough. No brackets, no semicolons, nothing. So syntactically, it's very straightforward and simple. Okay. Those who don't have a basic knowledge of C, C++ language, that candidate also can able to understand easily and can able to survive easily in IT sector after getting a job. So it's a straightforward mechanism I am saying. So in Java or other languages, more lines we have to write it for same task, and in Python, less lines we can write. So code reducibility is there, and program readability also will improve in Python. So what I mean to say, compared to other languages, Python syntaxes are very simple and straightforward. It's we can reduce maximum length of the code. That is the main thing. And more, there is no complex architectures are there in Python. Okay, compared to Java, C Sharp, .NET, there are huge complex architectures are there, but in Python there is no complex architectures. It's a straightforward scenarios are there maximum cases. Okay, so Python is a programming language. Then what type of programming language we need to discuss? So first of all, Python is a general purpose programming language. General purpose programming language. What is meaning of general purpose programming language, sir? It is. See, every language, if we take all, will say like general purpose only. C language, C++, Java, C Sharp, .NET, general purpose language. What is the meaning of general purpose? General purpose means using this Python programming language, we can build any type of application, desktop application, web application, network programming, data analysis applications, business applications, any number of applications you can develop. That is called general purpose. If it is a specific purpose, so we can't say we can develop any type of application using Python script. It's not a specific. It's not designed for specific category of applications. It's designed for completely general purpose applications. You can take any application development Python through, we can achieve that because that much of libraries are already available in Python. Okay, that's the reason. So it's a general purpose programming language. Next, coming to this, Python is a high level programming language. Python is a high level programming language. What is the meaning of high level programming language? In general, when we write Python code or any language code, then low level activities are very important. What are the low level activities? Low level activities means what? When execute Python program internally, some process need to be required. That process is like memory management, security management. These all things should be there in the internal only. So high level language means you need not to take care of low level activities as a Python program because it's a high level implemented. All low level activities by default will take care Python itself. So programmer contribution is not there while performing low level activities here. So Python will take care of everything. So that's what we can call it. It is a high level programming language. Now coming to this, Python is interpreted programming language. Interpreted programming language. So generally if we take C, C++, Java, C Sharp.NET, that we can call it as compiler based languages. So simple logic. Compiler means the code which will check entire the program. Like for example, if you write code in C, C++, Java, 10 lines if you write, total 10 lines code will check at once. That is called compilation. After checking compilation, if there is no compilation errors, code will ready to execute. And if there is any number of errors are there, like 2 errors, 3 errors, that errors will display to you. But in Python, we never see in our coding execution 2 errors, 3 errors, 5 errors, 5 errors like that, because it is interpreted programming language. Interpreted means line by line code will check and execute. For example, if I write code in Python 10 lines, first line interpret. If there is no issue, it will go to next line. If in case any problem in next line, immediately interpreter will stop the execution and that will throw one error only. At a time, we will see only one error. On which line error is occurred, that line message will be displayed to you. So it is interpreter. So interpreter meaning is line by line code will execute. But for your kind information, it doesn't mean that Python don't have any compilation. Compilation is there, but as a programmer, we are not going to do explicit compilation. Python interpreter will take care internal compilation. Okay, but because of interpreter, Python execution speed is compared to other languages somewhat little bit slow. So it's not a drawback. I think it's a advantage only because if it is line by line code will check and execute from the programmer end, you can able to trace the program easily. What line is going to, in which line the problem is occurred, easily we can able to debug and trace the code clearly if it is interpreted. But compared to other languages, compiler languages like C, C++, Java, interpreter, Python is interpreter, JavaScript is interpreter. These are all scripting languages are interpreter. So somewhat little bit slow rate of execution process because it has to check line by line code and check. So this is interpreter meaning. It's an interpreter based language. And coming to this, Python is completely case sensitive programming language. Case sensitive in the sense what? How the way you declare any variables, functions, class names, okay? Same way how to access. For example, I declare variable name is A equals to 10. How I can print this variable name A only? If I try to print capital A, it will not because it's a case sensitive language. How the way you declare variable names and class names and function names, same way you have to access, that is called case sensitive programming language. And coming to this last point, which is related to Python, Python is completely dynamically typed programming language. Dynamically typed programming language. It is the big advantage from the programmer end because dynamically means runtime. Runtime means during the program execution. Data type will decide for Python variables. Generally, you can take any language like C, C++, Java, C Sharp.NET, and so on. How we can declare the variables are in other languages? Data type, variable name equals to value. Data type is integer, variable name is A equals to 10. This is the common declaration of any other languages. But in Python, not like that. This is the statically typed languages because at the time of writing coding only, you have to decide the data type of your variable. What type of a variable data type integer? Because of what? Values integer only. In other language, it is possible, but in Python, not like this. Python directly we can mention variable name, variable name equals to value. Variable name A, value is 10. Even semicolon is also not required in Python. If we give semicolon, there is no problem, it will work, but it's not required. So who will assign data type for this A? Python internally will assign data type for this A variable. Okay, you need not to specify any data type of your A variable, because based on the value what you are assigning to this variable, based on this value, during the program execution, Python will decide data type for this A. So data type mechanism automatically takes place. You need not to declare any data type like this. If you do like this in Python, it will give syntax error. According to Python syntax, this is wrong. It's not correct. So I have to remove this. So based on the value, data type will decide for the variable. This is called dynamically typed programming language. Dynamic means runtime. At the time of program execution, what value you are giving for the variable, based on that, data type will decide for your variable A only. But in other languages, statically typed means at the time of writing code only, you have to decide, you have to mention data type of your variable based on your value. So here, any value can assign. If I give 10.9, Python will assign for my variable A float only. If I give something like this, Python will assign for A variable string data type only. So only programmer side, you need not to define any data type. It doesn't mean that Python don't have any data types, sir. It's having lot of data types like integer, float, bool, complex, string, list, tuple, set, range, dictionary. Lot of data structures are there for data science or data analysis purpose. We'll discuss all those things clearly. Okay. So what type of language Python means? It's a general purpose. Using Python, we can develop any sort of applications, and it's a high level programming language. So no need to write any explicit code for low level activities, for memory management and security. And it's completely interpreted programming language. Line by line code will check and execute. And it's completely case sensitive. How the way you declare variables and methods and class names in Python, same way how to access. And it's a dynamically typed language. Meaning is what? While declaring any variables in Python, no need to specify any data type. By default, internally, at runtime, data type will decide for Python variables. Okay, we'll see all these things in practical implementation once I start coding part, so that you will not get any confusion. So this is about complete basic introduction of Python full stack. Today I just discussed only very basics. What I am going to cover, what is Python, what type of language it is. That's it. So now it's your turn. You can ask me any doubts regarding this Python full stack and time duration, anything. So I'm ready to clarify your doubts. Now you can type your question in chat box, or else you can open your mic and speak with me. I'll give you answer to all. So this is a basic demonstration clearly. Even this session also recorded. Once you enroll for this course, we will start sending recording videos daily basis. What topics cover advanced Python? Yeah, I'll just roughly I will tell you, but in detail I cannot tell you. OOPS concept like encapsulation, polymorphism, abstraction, inheritance, multi-threading, exception handling, generators, decorators, pandas, matplotlib, numpy, overloading, overriding concept, exception handling, assertions, log files creations, and so on. Python database connectivity. This comes into advanced. In core Python, fundamental concepts, loops, control flow statements, operators, functions, modules, and what we can say anonymous functions, lambda expressions, and so on. So no worries, you will get syllabus copy clearly, so that what I'll cover in that clearly it's there in detail.
Sir, you spoke about lambda expressions, NumPy, and matplotlib. So all these are some packages only, right?
Packages only, modules. That also I'll cover in our advanced Python. Every module, random module is there, NumPy module is there. So many modules are included according to our topics.
Okay, thank you, sir.
If you go for multi-threading, threading module is required. If you go for regular expressions, RE module is required. If you go for any serialization or deserialization, pickle module is required. That's completely clearly available.
And I think for data science, NumPy and Matplotlib will be required.
Yeah, yes, yes. I'll include in our advanced Python also. NumPy package, Matplotlib, pandas, that I'll cover in our advanced Python. Okay, just I'm taking question from Mr. MR. Do we need to learn Django for Python? No. For Django, you have to learn Python. Okay, got my point. For Django, you have to learn Python. For Python, you need not to learn Django, not required. And if so, do we have learned HTML, CSS, jQuery, Bootstrap language? Yes. See, for Django, you must and should learn Python. And for Django, you should have the basics of HTML, CSS, jQuery, Bootstrap language that I'll cover. Okay. Yeah, that is enough. I said that basics of UI is enough for dealing with Django, because everything Django will provide, HTML forms and functionalities, validations, all those things, Django itself it will provide. But additionally, why I'm telling means, in case if you want to do any customization, that UI basics are required. MVT architecture, model view controller, model view template it is. In Java point of view, .NET point of view, MVC is there, model view controller. But in Django server itself, it acts as a controller. That is, there is no controller in Django, because Django server itself acts as a controller. MVC there in other language, but in Django, MVT is there, model view template. How long the course will be? Yes, full stack development course 4 months, only Python 45 days to 2 months.
Sir, what is the
Advantage
fees
is,
of?
tell me,
Hello,
tell me.
sir. What is the fees of full stack development?
I can't say on record, okay, because obviously this video will be uploaded in our Durga's YouTube channel. So fees purpose, you can contact to admin people. Meanwhile, I will write the fee structure for full stack in chat box so that you can collect it. You can see the information. Don't disclose that. Not good. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'll
Okay.
write it. Yeah.
So what is package of after Python?
It depends on your experience put up. So if we keep 2 to 3 years minimum, okay, you will get good package around minimum 8 to 10, 10 to 12. Depends on company you are looking forward. Yeah, I
Non
forgot. Wait, I forgot to tell you. After completion of Django, minimum 2 to 3 projects we are going to build on Django with REST API projects. Also, I'll cover. Okay, someone is asking the question. Yes, for sure that.
Real
So
world
that you will
real-time applications. Will we build any real-time applications? Like
real-time
both the
application.
front and back end?
Yeah, that's what complete architecture will be built. We will communicate, we will prepare front-end design, we will communicate with the database, and we can store the data, we can get the data, all real-time scenarios through, we will build application. Real-time scenario, not real-time application. Because the reason is real-time application means you have to be work for client, but we are not working for any client. Don't call it as a real time. According to me, there is no real time. No one will guide you real time projects. Real time scenario through, we will implement the application. That is better. Yeah.
So with this course, are we comfortable to do some cloud development, like both to three libraries and all, with our own, with the core and advanced stuff? So basically, I'm working in the cloud domain. So with that cloud API, will it be helpful for me if I join core and advanced course?
Yeah, you have to think about your scenarios, because if really that your environment Python script is needed means you can able to learn Python and you can use it in your environment. But actually I don't aware of your environment. No, what actually you people will do that.
Okay, got
Yeah. So my background is I have 10 plus years of training experience and 6 years of real-time experience. And actually, last 5 years onwards, I used to teach Python and all these things. And actually, last 10, 12 years onwards, I used to teach in .NET full stack development, C Sharp, ASP, .NET, ASP Core, Web API, all these things. This is my just background. And what about placements? Placement, we will not assist you. We will not promise you. You have to take care of that all. We are here just training the course, all these things. Then you have to work for placements yourself. We will not do any assistance. And meanwhile, we will make you alert where the placements are there. Then we will provide that links and you have to go through it.
Are you given a certificate after course?
What certificate you are speaking? You are speaking about course completion certificate or Python certification?
Python certification, sir.
Yeah, Python certification happily you can do after completion of course. You have to purchase vouchers from Microsoft officially, and some prometric centers will be there. You have to go there and you have to write the exam. And if you really pass that exam, then Microsoft onwards you will get a certified. So you will claim yourself as a Python certified developer only. Yeah, fresh as a fresher you can try Python developer, and experienced candidate also you can able to try. No issues. All the opportunities are well.
Sir, after Python requirement, any special degrees like IT, post graduation?
Not required. See, the thing is, I said that your background is not required, no? So only you can learn the Python and apply a job, and it will be easy for you. So no background and not at least minimum degree is enough.
Sir, I belongs to mechanical profile, and should I switch to after completing Python? Did I
Happily,
get the job?
obviously, anyone will get the job. Not only you. You are mechanical, and somebody will come from BCom or somebody will come from BA background. So anybody can able to do software job, undoubtedly. Only the thing is subject is matter.
Sir, it will be tough for me learning Python because I have a mechanical background.
If you go for Java or C Sharp .NET, really I will not recommend to you to learn because that is tough. But Python is not a tough. For everybody, it will be easy.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
Course completion certificate also will provide from our institute. You have to give your valid details so that they will send course certification letter through online, or else if you want to collect, and you can collect from the office, Hyderabad location. How to enroll for this course means our team will communicate to you, okay, through mail. So they will assist you how to enroll all these things clearly. And they will send the syllabus copy to you also. Everything they'll send to you, no problem. The details already I mentioned in my chat box, no? Once again, I'll write it and check it. And you will get recorded videos, complete soft copy of PDF material. Okay, that video is also downloadable and lifetime accessible. Study material, everything is there, completely PDF. Look at here, just once core Python PDF is there. It's completely PDF, clear description and programs and everything what I'll discuss in our class, everything is there step by step. Once if you see this PDF, then no student will get confused. Happily they can able to practice and more. And this is only core, and advanced Python PDF simple. This is advanced Python PDF. Same. This is object-oriented programming, regular expressions, multi-threading, regular decorators, generators, so many concepts. Even same Django also there. This is completely web development. This is somewhat vast syllabus, Django. Around 320 pages documentation is there. This is Django with HTML, JavaScript, Bootstrap, everything is included in this. At the same time, REST API also, PDF, everything is fine. We will hand over it to you. It's completely downloadable.
So can
Okay.
you send the everyday topic?
Everyday topic, not man. I said that once I start Python and your enrollment process is finished, then first I will send core Python document completely to you. Not every day. Every day recorded video I'll send to you. Material I'll send first only. And once I start advanced Python, total advanced Python PDF you will get. Once I start Django total PDF you will get. Assignments I'll give daily practices. Obviously, once I complete the class, then based on that, I used to give tasks completely. You have to do it. How much time
Okay,
to
sir.
complete Django? Django anyway, it's not right now. After 45 days, 50 days only Django I will start. Now I cannot start because without Python we can't go for Django. Okay, that is order. First I have to finish Python, then after Django. Then after this, I like this. Once I start Django, it takes minimum 45 days. So Flask is the lightweight, it will not take much more. And REST API, it will take minimum 20-25 days. So this part will come in the middle of Django process only, UI, MySQL, all these things. Yeah, any more question, you can feel free to ask me now.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello. Sir, are you going to assign any project on Python to us?
Tell me.
Are you going to assign any project or any assignments on
See,
Python, core Python?
daily basis, whenever I cover the topic, based on the topic, I'll give some task to you, exercise programming task. You have to do it from your side. And even
Is there
same
any
task, if you have any question, then next class we'll discuss the task code also.
okay? Is there any project or big project?
Yeah, project completely build sample application we will build on Python, and web application project will build on Django with REST API. All projects will be included in this.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
See, once I start coding, complete lecture will be practical only, no theoretical. You will see that. Once I start coding, then completely coding through only I'll explain. No theoretical much more. Yes, execution, practical, completely coding part only, because you are the developer. You are going to become a developer. You have to be focused on more coding. Data science related topics, as I said, no, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. These modules I'll cover completely. And remaining things you have to take care about your data science trainer through, where you are going to learn data science later. Because I'm not a data science trainer, I'll not cover all the related topics with the data science. But for sure, data science purpose, Python is mandatory, because there also they'll write Python script only. That data structures, all I will teach you, complete data structures which is related. And the next,
Sir, Python full stack development is sufficient to get the job.
then what is required again? Without if you don't go for Python full stack, multiple full stack you can't learn. No, it is more than sufficient, I can say that.
Yes, I'm asking for that only. Complete, मतलब
That is
complete course. That is
complete
sufficient to
course
get
is,
the job.
it's completely sufficient. Even only Python also, some students will get a job. You will become only Python developer, even not full stack required. So both are there. But once you know that Python full stack, then there are multiple sources are there to get a job. That is the advantage.
So companies are assigned freshers or not, or they required always experienced persons.
Yeah, both are there, no? As a fresher, see, once you are the programmer,